Hi guys, welcome to another Friday Tips with Fenz. One of these things that I get asked a huge amount, and it's one thing that does create quite a bit of confusion amongst lots and lots of athletes. And given that we live in a world where the bigger the number, the better, and the more kilometres we do, the better, it's easy to understand why people think that they need to have a bigger and bigger chronic training load, or CTL. Okay, so I'm not going to go into the details of CTL other than to say, if you don't already know, that CTL is basically a surrogate for the load that we have accumulated over a period of time. With our power meters and also with algorithms to work out our training load from heart rate, we can gauge this over time and we can see how we're building our condition and our fitness. The thing is not all CTL is made or created in the same way. You can understand this by saying you could go out for a 2 to 3 hour very easy ride, come back and feel as though you haven't done a huge amount of intensity or a huge amount of exercise. But you might come back after 3 hours and have what we call a T-score or a training load of 120 points, for instance. Whereas you could go out for an hour and a half and absolutely smash yourself, going as hard as you possibly can, come in and have a T-score of around 120 points. So you can see that over time, when you add this together and you're scoring, say, 500 or 600 T-score points per week, and you're accumulating 50, 60, 70 CTL points as your overall level of condition, if you're making them up out of the hour and a half flog fests, as opposed to making them up out of the 3 hour more endurance rides, you can see that you're going to feel very, very different after doing that. And you're going to see that they're not all made the same. So one of the things that again, people tend to think is that if you continue to smash yourself and drive CTL higher, you're going to be a better rider. Well, the reality of that for most of us is we're not competing in huge long stage races. We don't necessarily need to build up a huge CTL, and the reason for that is that we're not having to back up day after day after day for a week long or 2 week long or 3 week long stage race. We're doing a 1 day race. So our 1 day race is not governed by having a CTL of 120 points, whereby if you go out and doing stages of 120 points, for instance, you're only accumulating the same load as your body has become accustomed to. Most of our races as masters are 1 day races, and they're governing, their limiting factor is how much power you can produce generally over a short period of time, and also at the end of maybe 2.5 hours, because that's the length of most masters racing. So to accumulate a huge CTL is not necessarily going to put you in a better position to do well in that 1 day race. Okay, so do you need that huge CTL? No, you don't. What you need to do is not worry about that number, because it purely is a number. Okay, I've performed just as well and won races at a national masters level with a CTL of no more than 60, and that's doing between 6 and 9 hours of training per week. But that 6 to 9 hours of training per week was all exactly specific to the demands of the event I was participating in. Okay, it wasn't just going out and riding. It was very specific, and I utilized exactly the time I had to get the maximum bang for my buck. Okay, so just think about it. CTL is a number. We all strive, and everyone strives to get a bigger CTL, just like we used to strive to get more kilometers under the belt. But not all CTL, chronic training load, is derived in the same way. Think about the specificity and the actual limiters to the performance that you want to have, and go out there and target them, and I'm guarantee you're going to have a great race because of it, or finish your target event with a massive smile on your dial and frothing. All right, guys, I hope that's helped. Get out there and do some good hard training. All right, I'll catch you out on the road or trail. Bye-bye.